Okay guys, this is the video you've been asking for and waiting for. The full print-on-demand for beginners step-by-step tutorial to connect Etsy with Printify from beginning to end so that your orders can be fully automated for passive income and so that you're following all of Etsy's terms and conditions for print-on-demand sellers so that you can build up your Etsy sales like a pro. So let's jump over to my computer screen and get started. Hi, I'm Jess. I've built multiple 6- and 7-figure Etsy stores getting sales like these and learning the ins and outs of Etsy, Amazon, and more. A wild and crazy event led me to start a totally new life traveling abroad, giving me the unique opportunity to step back, work a lot less, and start sharing all of my Etsy insights with you. So hit that subscribe button, grab a pen and paper, and let's jump in. Okay, so jumping right into this tutorial here, we're going to start with signing up for Printify. And if you already know how to do these things, I will have chapters in the video description down below, and you can just jump right to the part that you want to learn about the most. So the first thing you're going to do is go to Printify, and you're going to click Sign Up. And this is super easy, guys. It only takes a few minutes. You can usually sign in right with Google. Otherwise, you can put your email address, any password you want to use, click I'm not a robot, and click sign up. That's going to take you to this page here, which just asks you a couple of questions. These really aren't that important, and it's not going to affect your Printify account in any possible way. So you can go ahead and choose pretty much whatever you want. And that's it. You get to open your new store. It's pretty easy. It literally takes 30 seconds and you're all set. If you want, you can also have 3 free days of Printify Premium, which is super cool and totally optional. Printify Premium does cost money, and I typically tell people to wait until their store is bringing in about 10 to 15 orders consistently each month to where Printify Premium will pay for itself. But if you want to capitalize on Printify Premium sooner, it does give you a discount on all of the products. So for example, this mug would be $7.31 in US dollars. But if you have Printify Premium, it discounts that to $5.63. So it does actually give you a discount on these products, and some of these discounts can be much higher depending on what the actual products are. So if you wanted to invest $30 for that first month or $60 for 2 months or whatever and consider it an investment, Printify Premium does have its benefits. We're not here for that today, so we're going to get back to the actual tutorial of syncing our store up with Etsy. So this is going to be the most important part. There are specific, very specific ways to go about doing this. So the first thing we want to do is connect this to a store. So when you click My New Store right here, it opens up with a little menu and it will automatically say Not Connected. You can add a new store by clicking this plus button right here. And then you see a lot of options. Now, this connects with lots of things, and that's super handy for automating your income. And I love that they connect with Shopify, and we're going to talk actually about Shopify next month. I have a full tutorial that's really handy about that. But we're connecting Etsy today, so we're going to click Etsy, and it's going to open us up, and it's going to say an application would like to connect to your account. And it gives you information on what all granting access allows Printify to do. So Printify will be able to read your email address, create and edit listings, delete listings, see all of your listings, see addresses from your orders, so billing and shipping addresses, all checkout data, receipts, shop, etc. That's very important because Printify is going to need to read all of your order data, so like the shipping addresses on your order and what size and color of garment or what type of product specifically each order contains, so that they know what to send the customer for you. And that is a big part of having this be automated so that your income can be passive. So you're going to want to grant access. And that's literally it. You are connected. So this is super easy, But there's a little bit more work you need to do on Etsy's side of it to make sure that you're following all of Etsy's rules and regulations. And they actually have a great help article on Printify that walks you through this process step by step. I will put that link down in the video description below for you. And I'm going to walk you through all of these steps right here in this video, so you don't need to worry about how to do it, but you're going to want to open this article in another tab so that you can reference some of the information in here as a simple copy and paste and make sure you're doing it correctly. So I'm going to scroll down here, and you can, of course, read through this article at your leisure before you set this up or however you want to do it. And it does give a great tutorial. So we're going to jump back over to Etsy and we're going to create a new listing. Okay, so when we create a new listing, it's going to ask us a couple of questions. Of course, this is print on demand, so we're going to choose a physical item. You made it, unless somebody else in your shop made it, and you're going to want to answer these things according to what the product is. So it's probably going to be made to order. Now you're going to want to pay close attention to this part here because you need to select a production partner when you're using Printify. So I'm going to click that button, and I haven't added any production partners. And by the way, I'm actually using my tiny little digital store that is connected to my blog. It's not anything fancy, so I don't have any of this stuff set up. So to create a new production partner, I'm going to click this button here, and this is where we're going to go back to that tutorial. So it says that Printify is the name of the production partner, but this is mostly going to be for your reference right here. This is so you know which one you're connecting it to. And then we're going to click off of show this product partner's name to buyers. We don't want buyers to know specifically that we are using Printify. So we're going to actually type in a print shop right here so that people know we're using a print shop, but they're not exactly sure which one. That really doesn't matter to Etsy customers at all, but that is going to help give you a little bit of discretion if you get a high selling product and competitors are looking to see what you're doing and where you're selling. If you want to get fancy, you could also say a high quality print shop or a top quality print shop or whatever you want to say to make it look nice and make it clear that you are using a print shop. Now this part is going to be important. I suggest that you literally just say a production partner. So you can just type in a production partner just like Printify tells you to and go back to the article. And then for location, you're going to type in United States of America. That's it. You don't have to have a state in here. You don't have to have a city in here. It can just say United States of America. And that's also important because Printify does have manufacturers all around the country and also all around the globe. So you do want to make sure that you're saying United States of America so you have the freedom to use different partners regardless of where they are in the US. So next it's going to ask you a few questions. Why are you working with this partner? You're going to choose, I don't have the technical ability or equipment to make it entirely by myself, because you probably don't have a printer. What is your role in the design process? I design everything by myself. I design everything but get technical help. That's if you have like a pattern maker or something like that. I collaborate with my shop members. This is if there's multiple people helping out in your shop. I have an idea and work with independent designers to realize it. I collaborate with my production partner to design my products, or I contract with independent designers and have rights to their work. Now, most of us are probably going to choose I design everything myself, but if one of these other options applies to you, you can choose that instead. This is going to depend on your particular niche and how your designs are made. Lastly, it's going to ask, what is this partner's role in the production process? And you're going to choose, they do everything for me. Because once you create the design and set up your listing, they are going to print it onto the garment or print it onto the product, ship it for you, handle the tracking, all of that good stuff. So they do everything for me is the easiest option to choose. And then you just click save. Congratulations, you now have a production partner for your Etsy store and it is set up properly so that you are following all the rules and regulations that Etsy has for print-on-demand sellers. Now, the second step is that anytime you create a listing that uses Printify, you need to make sure you have chosen that this is the production partner for this listing. So in this main screen here where it says, tell us about your listing, you have to say that you have used Printify. And remember, it will appear on the listing as a print shop. So don't worry about that part. But if you forget to mark that this is done with Printify and Etsy detects that your shop is synced up to Printify and that Printify is fulfilling orders on your behalf, they will potentially shut your shop down for not properly following their rules and terms and conditions. So you want to make sure you are choosing this every time you create a Printify related listing. So I'm going to click continue and I'm going to go ahead and finish creating my listing. So in theory, we would type in a great product title here with all our SEO in there. And then we're going to add photos. So we don't actually have photos yet, and I'm going to show you a great workaround for that if you don't know how to create mockups or things like that. I'm going to skip that for now. We're going to have a wonderful product description in here that has all of our valuable information. And for the purposes of this particular tutorial, we are going to make a product on Printify. So we are going to keep it very, very simple here, and we're going to just make a coffee mug. This is a simple coffee mug. It's pretty standard. It's one of their best sellers, and it's $4.40. If you don't have Printify Premium, it's about $1 cheaper if you do. And when you open that, it gives you a little bit more detail. So for example, shipping is $6.39 and the price again is $4.40. I'm going to click start designing, but I don't actually have a design to put on this mug yet. So I'm going to open my second favorite website, Canva. So if I come into Canva, I can create a new design and Printify will actually tell you the best dimensions if you scroll down here to create your new design. So 2475 is the smallest pixels that we want to use. And typically when you're making a coffee mug, you want to put the design on both sides. That's a little different if you're making a shirt or something like that. And if you want to see a more specific tutorial about doing this with t-shirts, please let me know. The process is exactly the same in terms of connecting it to Printify and all of that. So I'm going to type in, we're going to actually make that just a little bit bigger, and we're going to do 2500 pixel square. And we have a nice new design. We're going to call it coffee mug for Printify. And just to make things fast and easy for this tutorial, let's see here. Let's do cute animal. Elephants are always super cute. We're going to go ahead and grab this little elephant here. I'll actually make that bigger. So we're going to add text here, and we're going to make this a semi-personalized coffee mug. So it's not super personalized. It doesn't have a name on it. It's a templatable product, which will help us keep this very, very passive. So I'm just going to choose this font here, and I'm actually also going to make it pink to match the elephant's ears, and I'm going to click download. So I'm going to go here, click download. I'm going to mark the option for transparent background. And if you don't have Canva Premium, you can actually just save it how it is and go to a third-party app that will remove the background for you. And then click download. Coming back over to my Printify listing here, I'm going to click my device and upload this design directly into my Printify. Now comes the easy part. I'm just going to size it so that it fits on the coffee mug. If you are brand new to Printify, I want to point out really briefly here that it does give you little guidelines. So this is the center point of my design, and this is the center point of my design. So I want to kind of line these up. Oops. So I can line up my little green lines with the center point here. I'm going to click duplicate, slide it all the way over to this side, and if I move it just slightly, it will give me these guidelines again to make sure that it is even. And if I click preview, it will let me see what this looks like. Looks pretty cute. If you click show more, you'll also see that there's quite a few little mock-ups here. So as a quick little hack, when you're in this screen, you can actually open this image in a new tab and save it. That can now become your Etsy listing image, and you can actually use all of these images if you want. And you can also go back to Canva, for example, and type in coffee mug mockup or whatever mockup you want to see. And you can see that they actually have some really cute coffee mug mockups. And I'm just going to stretch this to make it focus nicely on the coffee mug right in the center. And upload my transparent design. Slide it on over, tilt it a little bit, and boom, I have another mock-up image. Easy peasy. I'm going to make this bigger because we want high quality designs for our Etsy listing, and I'm going to download that. Come back over and add that one as well. Easy peasy. And you don't have to have 10 photos, but you should have as many photos as you can. The more photos you have, the better your listing will do because you're going to be giving buyers more confidence in your product, which is always, always, always helpful. So we're going to continue on. I don't want to drag this out too long here. We're going to pretend I have more images, a great description, a great title, all of that good stuff, and we need to figure out our pricing. So what we're going to do here is we have our coffee mug created. We're going to come back to Printify and save the product. Here's where it gets interesting. And I actually have a great calculator in my Etsy Seller Success workbook that I talk about in so many of my videos that just makes this process significantly easier. So we know that the production cost is $4.40. So if we come back to my calculator, and you can do this on your own spreadsheet, you don't have to have my calculator by any means, but for simplicity's sake, I'm going to use it because that's what I have. So I type in $4.40 for the product supply cost right here. It is $6.39 for the shipping. So $6.39. And we are going to decide if we want to put it on sale and how much we want our store to be on sale for. Let's say 30%. This is going to automatically figure out what our selling fees would be based on our list price. So let's say we want to sell a coffee mug for $19.99. $20 is a great price for gifts. So if we had that at a 30% discount, that drops it down to $13.99. And we would make $1.42 off of this product. If it was an offsite ad, however, we would actually lose money. And this kind of figures out what our offsite ads is over here based on how much you sell per year in your store and what country you're based in. But we're not going to get into all that. I have so many videos about this workbook. If you want to check out the main video on this workbook, I'll put the link at the top for you. We're just trying to figure out what our price should be for this product. So let's say we're going to stick with that $19.99 price. After the discount, it gives us $13.99. That gives us about $6 that we could charge for shipping. So let's say we charge $5.99 for shipping. That gives us a 20% profit margin and $3.85 for profit on this if it is an offsite ad. So that's worst case scenario. If it's not an offsite ad, we make almost $7 and have a 35% profit margin. So I love this, and I'm going to mark $19.99 as my product price right here. We're going to say, I could sell unlimited out of these, so I'm going to say I have 15. And here's where it gets interesting. So we're going to actually add the SKU. To do that, we come back to Printify. And if you see, we're still on this page here of our ceramic mug. If we come back over to this left side here, it tells us exactly what the SKU is. So I'm going to just copy and paste the SKU. And you might have to toggle this little thing down because websites are stupid and they like to be a little difficult. I'm going to type that SKU in right here. That is super, super easy, and it will actually link this product to this Printify listing here. And there's a couple different things you can do from this point forward. So let's say you want to offer multiple versions. So you don't just want to have the best mom ever. Let's say you want to have best mom ever, best aunt ever, etc. Then what you can do is actually add variations. Now, I skipped over some of the details of the listing creation, so I didn't add a category. I'm going to do that really quickly right now and just add that this is a coffee mug. And when you're making your Etsy listing, you're going to want to fill in as much of this information as possible, which can help you on the back end and help you with your SEO. You're going to want to go through your SEO strategy and choose the correct tags. And of course, you can add your materials if you want. We're not going to get into all of that for the sake of this tutorial because it's already getting long. Anyhow, now that we've chose a category, we can add variations. And what we're going to do is create our own, because what's going to change here is the design choice. And there's going to be different options. So we're going to say best mom ever. We're going to add one for best aunt ever. We're going to add one for best grandma ever. And we're just going to stick with 3, but you can add as many as you want. And mark that SKUs vary. So you're going to want to toggle this on, SKUs vary. Now you see that there's actually a place to add 3 different SKUs. So if you come back to your Printify listing, you can copy and paste the SKU for your mom mug. And as a quick side note for your own sanity, we're going to jump back up to the top and we're going to actually choose this image to be the main image so that when we see it in our store, it's literally going to show us which one it is. We also want to change the title here to Best Mom Ever. And then you can click Save as Draft. You do not want to publish this. So if you publish this listing, it's going to actually create a listing in your Etsy store for you. And we're going to talk about that in just a second, but for now, I'm going to click Save as Draft. And then that way we can see what this is when we're looking in our Printify products list. So we're going to just want to copy this listing and change the design to best aunt ever and best grandma ever, and then add the SKUs for those listings right into these spaces. Once we do that, we can go ahead and publish our listing, and everything is going to be synced directly with Printify. So when an order comes through on Etsy for this product, Printify is going to read the SKU and match it to the listings. So if the customer chooses best mom ever, it will print best mom ever. If the customer buys best aunt ever, it will match that SKU and do the best aunt ever. And it will automatically print that product for you and ship it out to your customer. The best part is, next, once that product ships, Printify is going to automatically add the tracking to the order for you. You don't have to do anything else to this order. It is done and it is totally automated. If you have any questions about this so far, please feel free to comment and I will try and jump in and help with answering any questions as detailed as I can for you. But we're going to go back just a second to where I said if you publish this listing, it will actually create an Etsy listing for you. So when you click publish, it creates the listing for you. And if you come to your Etsy listings editor and look at that, you're going to see that it automatically put in the images for you, the title that you had. It's going to give you the description. It's going to give you their price, which you definitely want to change, and it's going to add the SKU. Now, you can go ahead and update this and add the variations to this listing if you want to. And for some people, this is the easier way to do it. For me, it gets a little bit confusing because I like to know that all of my listings are SEO optimized and I don't want to miss anything, but I think that would just be personal preference. But for some people, I think it's just faster and easier because it will upload all of Printify's images for you. So if you're relying on Printify's actual product images, that can be handy. And to do that, you would just come back over to your Printify product listing and toggle on whatever images you want to add to your listing here. You can pick some of them or all of them. You only get up to 10 images, and then you can click Publish. It will tell you that there were changes made. I'm going to confirm those changes. And as you can see, it says uploading images. So it takes a second to upload that to my Etsy listing. But you can already see that it updated my title for me. And of course, you want to change the price. It will also automatically choose that Printify was your production partner, but it's beneficial for you to make sure, always double check that this is correctly identified so that you're following Etsy's terms and conditions. That's it. You can go ahead then and create your shipping profile, put your tags and your SEO in, and improve your listing, description, title, and all of that good stuff. But in terms of connecting it and creating the listing, this is literally all you have to do. It doesn't take very long. The most time-consuming part really is going to be creating the designs for the products and making sure that they are high-quality designs that buyers actually want to buy. So if you have any questions again on this, please, please, please comment and let me know. And I wanted to also point out that, as I mentioned before, you can also connect your Printify to Shopify and other merchants as well. So if you are not subscribed to my channel, make sure you subscribe right now. Go click that subscribe button, give this video a like, and make sure you're following because in about 4 weeks, I have another video coming out that is going to actually give you some great benefits to having a Shopify store that will help your Etsy sales that you don't have access to without Shopify. So that is going to be a great, great, great video. So now that you know how to sync Etsy and Printify, you are ready to roll and start building a passive income with Printify. But you know I can't send you on your way without also giving you a great way to use this handy tutorial. So I'm going to prompt you to jump over to this amazing video and see how to make clever designs that will sell like crazy in no time at all. Catch you there.